Over.
So we are observing body, ourself, and interaction between the two. So in continuation of exercise 1, in continuation of observation, now we are observing body and world outside. So we are trying to see ourself and body as distinct realities in step 1, and in step 2 we are observing interaction between me and the body. Then in step 3 we are observing the decision maker. Who is decision maker? So with observation we can see that we are decision maker. I am the decision maker. So I am the one who decides to give instruction to the body. I am the one who decides to read specific sensations from the body. So I am a decision maker. So I interact with the body as and when I require. Then in step 4, I am trying to see the separation between me and the body. So I am observing that I am not the sensation. I am not in the sensation. And there is a separation between the two. So I can read the sensation taking place in any part of the body. So I am not hard bounded with the body. That's why I have choice to interact with the body as and when I require. As and when I think it is important to interact with the body. So this separation I am trying to see in step 4. Now in step 5, we are trying to see interaction with the self, interaction of the self with body and world outside. So in step 5, I am reading sensation, its sources, and then I can see that I give meaning to sensations based on my sanskars. So there are sensations happening in body, and there could be various sources of sensation. And all these sensations are happening in the body, and with decision I read it. And when I read this sensation, I associate meanings in conjunction of my sanskar. So now my sanskars are involved while reading this sensation. So if my sanskars are based on assumptions, I may react. I may get influenced by my meanings. So I may react. If my sanskars are based on knowing, I will respond. I will respond to the sensations. I will respond to the feelings getting from outside. So this reaction and response depends on my state of sanskars. So whenever I interact with body, whenever I interact with world outside, my sanskars get involved. So that's why in exercise 1, we focused on purifying our sanskar. We practiced to observe our sanskar. And we tried to be in a state of pure observer in exercise 1. With that state, we can align my sanskars with relationship, harmony, and coexistence. And once they are aligned, then whenever I read sensations, I respond because now my sanskars are aligned with relationship, harmony, and coexistence. Then in step 6, we are observing that when I am not happy inside, when I am not comfortable inside, so I try to be happy with the sensation, with the feelings outside. And somehow I consider sensations the source of my happiness, feelings from others as a source of my happiness. And I try to continue those sensations which I like most. So this is a reaction. If I dislike the taste sensations, then I like to discontinue. This is also a reaction. And if my sanskars are based on right understanding, then I evaluate rightly the sensation, the feelings from outside, and I respond it. So my sanskars plays a very important role while interacting with the body, while interacting with the world outside. With this, we are discussing step 7. In step 7, now I am observing my being in the space. So earlier I was studying myself as a unit, body as a unit, interaction between the two as an information. Now I am observing myself in coexistence of space. So I am in space, in coexistence in space. I can see body as a material unit is also in a space, in coexistence in space. And whatever interaction between me and body is happening, it is happening through space. By my choice, by my decision. So I send instruction to the body through space. I read specific sensations taking place in body through space. So I can observe myself directly as an activity. I can observe body directly as an activity. I can also observe space directly. So in coexistence of space, I interact with body time to time. It is my choice when to interact, as and when I decide to interact. So my being is not dependent on the body. It is not dependent on sensation. It is not dependent on any outside object. So my being is in coexistence in space. So this is what we are discussing from step 1 to 7 in exercise 2. So in exercise 1, we practiced to observe ourselves, our feeling, sanskar, and we were trying to reach to the state of pure observer. So in the state of pure observer, I can observe myself, my activities. I can observe body directly with its activities. I can observe my being in space, in coexistence with space. Now I can observe body in coexistence in space. So this is what we are discussing from step 1 to 7 of exercise 2. So now we can have few reflections on the assignment. Right. Yes. If someone has reflection on the assignment, we can discuss. So we have Prashant Bhaiya.
Ji, good morning, everybody. So ultimately, Gopalji, we reached to this final step number 7. And finding that, so while observing this step number 7, it is the summation of or whatever I have gained in step number 1, all 7 steps, and this exercise number 2, all 7 steps. So in step number 7 of exercise 1, I can see that I am with the right understanding with related to all the nature and I am in coexistence. But when we come to this step number 7 of this exercise 2, it is somewhat clear to me that whatever I am talking right now itself, so it is through the body, but it is being wired or it is being aired by the self, but of course through the space. It means that there is a space between my word and the mobile and your ear, which is catching right it now. Everywhere there is a space. Whatever be the transaction I am getting, whatever be the feelings I got right this time, if a question is asked, who will give the experiences or share your feeling? So it is there. But one thing, it is not again clear means what is the space? Means of course this is on the ground of information I am having it. It is aired, it is unwired, transaction, everything. But what exactly the space would be or space is, it is still not clear to me. Ji, thank you. Thanks a lot for giving me the chance. Namaste. Ji.
जी भैया, नमस्ते.
Ji. Thank you.
So there are two ways, to see this reality, all pervading reality. So space is a reality which is all pervading, present everywhere.
Ji.
Now there are two ways. If we are trying to see it with the help of sensations, with the help of body,
Ji.
then we can see this space in reference of units.
Okay.
For example, if you are trying to see with eyes
Ji.
using sensation of body, then you can see this space as a gap between two units. And so there is a gap between your laptop and your mobile.
Ji.
So you can say this is what is between these two units. So you can say space is between two units.
जी.
So this you can see with the help of sensation.
Yeah, of course. Mhm.
Now there is only, if there is only one unit,
Mhm.
na, then you can see space again in context of that unit. So you will say there is one unit and space around it,
Okay. जी.
right? So this
Mhm.
is one way if we are trying to see it with the help of sensation.
Mhm.
If you extend it further, if you are
जी.
trying to see it with the help of sensation
Mhm.
and you extend it, you can see that there is impact of one unit on another. It is also happening in space, through
Mhm.
space. So two units are interacting with each other through space.
Mhm.
So for example, uh, this sun,
जी.
sun has some impact on Earth
Mhm.
because each unit impacts another unit.
Mhm.
So it has some impact, and this impacts is because of uh, is is happening in the coexistence of space.
जी.
So this is one way. Another way is I can see unit in reference of space. Earlier I discussed seeing space in reference of units. So I am seeing unit first and then trying to see space.
जी.
Another way is I am seeing space and then I am observing this unit. So for example,
Mhm.
if there is a mobile in front of
Mhm.
you,
जी.
so I see space and units in space. This is another way.
Okay. Mhm.
Earlier, what I was saying, first we see mobile and then we say there is a
हाँ.
mobile and a
Yeah.
space around it.
जी. जी.
So this is what we are uh, keeping unit at the center.
Mhm.
But now if you see, we can keep space at the center.
Mhm.
Right? So there is a
Yeah.
space and units is there. So
Yeah.
first I can see space, then unit.
Mhm.
So this is another way of looking.
Mhm.
So there is a space around us. It is a
Yeah.
reality,
Mhm.
all pervading, which is all pervading. Now in this reality, is units also exist
Yeah.
in coexistence.
Mhm.
So space is all pervading. Units exist in coexistence of this all pervading reality.
Yeah. Units are submerged into it. Can we say like that? There is a space. First, we have to see space. It is all pervading, and all the
Yes,
units are submerged into it. Can we
yes,
say?
yes, Bhaiya. So space is all pervading
Mhm.
and units are submerged in this
जी.
space. So I am consciousness unit. I am
Yeah.
also submerged in space.
जी.
So space is all pervading and I
Mhm.
exist as a unit that
Mhm.
is submerged in space.
जी.
है ना? Space is all pervading. Body is a material unit that is submerged in space.
जी. That is also submerged. Yeah.
And I can interact with body in submergence of this space.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
है ना? So it is up to us where we keep unit at the center or space at the center.
Yeah.
So generally, because we try to see with the help of sensation,
Yeah. We are observing units.
we
जी.
observe unit first.
जी. जी.
Now, if you see any unit,
Mm.
for example, any unit, for example, mobile,
Mm.
so you can see these units are active, है ना?
Mhm.
And where activities are taking place in submergence of space.
जी.
You can count units. I have one mobile, two mobile, five fingers. We are able to count it five because
mm,
there is a space,
yeah,
between two
mm,
units.
mm, mm,
And within the unit, you can count electron, proton, etc. Because
yeah,
within unit,
mm,
a
mm,
space is
mm,
there.
yeah,
Further, you can break electron, proton, etc. Because
there also,
there is
yeah,
a
there also
space.
may find space. Yeah, yeah,
So space is a reality which is all pervading.
G,
It is not a unit.
mm, mm, mm,
But because we are somehow assumed ourselves as a body, so we try to see this reality with the help of sensation.
mm, mm,
So if we are trying to see it with help of sensation, then we can see as a distance, x a gap between two units. But with the activity of realization,
mm,
I can see my submergence in space.
yeah, yeah,
Otherwise, what we are doing, we are trying to see submergence of other units in space.
G,
But with the activity of realization, with the state of pure observer,
mm, mm,
I can see my submergence in space.
mm,
So I can see my submergence in space. So if I am in state of pure observer, I can see
mm,
this all pervading reality, space. I can see myself. I can see submergence of my with space. With this, now
mm.
when I will see another unit, then I will see space and there are other units.
Yes, yeah, yeah, mm,
Right? So because I am not aware of myself, I am not in a state of pure observer. I have
mm.
assumed myself body and I want to see space with other units.
Yeah, as third unit again.
Yes, as a third
Yeah,
unit.
that is
And
the
that
part.
creates a problem.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. Slowly it will come. Yes, yes.
है ना? So that's why if you see exercise 1, the
Mm,
whole exercise was focused, or the exercise 1 was helping us to come into a state of pure observer.
G, yeah.
है ना? So in that state, I can see this all pervading reality directly. I can see my all activities directly. I
Mm,
can see my submergence in space directly.
mm,
With this, when I will see units outside, then I can see space and other units.
mm,
So I will see space first, then units next.
G,
Then I can see submergence of each unit.
mm.
Yes. And with that state, I can also see that I am submerged and each unit is submerged.
Yes, that can
है ना?
be said.
So I can see submergence of each unit in space.
Mm,
So this is another way of looking into it with direct observation,
G.
right, Priya?
Yeah, thank you. Very nice discussion in the morning on the backdrop of the conference. Thank you,
Yes,
G.
Priya.
Gopal.
Namaste,
Namaste.
Priya.
Namaste.
Okay, so we have Sanjay ji with us. Namaste, Priya.
Namaste, Vaya.
Ji.
Good morning.
Good morning, Priya.
Uh, Actually, when we see the space activity or my activity, so during the lectures, during the working, during the in whatever we regular activities we are doing it. So that time I see that there is a responses and the sensations are there and then responses are there and that time I see that there are the different units and all these are there. But when we are sitting calmly and we thoughts are going on, that time there is a difference. We look at I myself is uh, different, and there is a space. There's a different units are there, and I like that. So these two differences we am getting it. Am I able to
Say again,
That's
Bhaiya,
my
what
question.
two differences?
See, when we do the regular activity, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the lectures.
Mm-hmm.
So during the taking the lectures and all that time, so there is a responses or whatever the sensations are going on, and according to sensation, the responses are taking place and all that time. That time I'm not seeing, or whenever I see it, so there is a space in the, you know, whatever the units are there. So like you have given the example of mobile and all this. So different units are there and all these are there. So when we sit for calm, जैसे कि
Mm-hmm.
when we sit just for
Peacefully
thinking
calm.
it,
Mm.
हाँ, uh, that time I'm seeing there is no such a units are there and all this. So we are in the space and like that.
Yeah. So when we are
Yes.
sitting peacefully,
Yeah.
है ना, and if we are focusing on ourselves, so if we are
Yes.
sitting peacefully with closed eyes, so I start focusing on myself. That
Okay.
time I look myself as a unit, myself as
Uh,
an activities, right?
hmm,
Yeah. That time I can see
okay.
my feelings, my thoughts, my sanskar, and I can see my potential to be in state of pure observer. And if we are
Okay.
focusing on that potential, then I can see my submergence in space. Then I
Yes,
can
this is
see
happens when I put.
relatedness.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
This is happens when I put all the activities aside and sit calmly. So that time this is happens. But during this daily activity, this is not happens. So why this is why I'm telling?
So once, what I can say here, we can practice it. Suppose,
Okay,
for
okay.
example, when we are busy outside, sometimes it
Mm,
becomes difficult to see our feeling also. But we are
yeah, correct.
practicing. If we are practicing it, then we can focus on feelings all the time. है ना?
Huh.
Similarly, when we sit peacefully, we can see ourselves clearly.
Correct.
With practice, we can focus on ourselves all the time. So it is a matter of focus. So in daily routine also, when I am focusing on unit, I can focus on space also. But generally, our focus shift to units. है ना? So I
Yeah,
have
generally
potential.
when we do the
हाँ,
activity, generally we focus on the unit. Correct.
yes. But I have potential to keep my focus continuous on myself, on the space, on the submergence, and activities of other units in submergence of space. This much potential I have. But we are habitual to shift our focus on units only. So sometimes we are so involved outside that we forget ourselves also. है ना? Sometimes we
Correct.
forget our natural acceptance also. है ना? But we have potential to keep my focus on my natural acceptance continuously while interacting with others, while interacting with other units. So if I am aware of that potential, so I can indulge outside while keeping focus inside on my natural acceptance and on space, on its emergence also. So we can do it, but we need awareness for that.
Yeah, we need practice also. Awareness is
Awareness and
first, and then
practice.
we need the practice also. Lots
Right,
of
Via.
practice is required, sir.
Right, Via. So this time also when you are talking to me,
Huh,
so you have potential to focus on your feeling, to focus on my talk, to focus on this emergence of space. Now you have to decide where you want to focus. As a choice, you have all these three choice. But now you need to decide where you want to keep your focus. So space is available all the time. I am submerged
Yes, yes,
into space all the time. I interact
correct.
outside, you know, very for very short moment. But I am submerged in space all the time. Now I need to decide where should I keep my focus. So if you decide to keep your focus on submergence, you can, see it all the time, even interacting with other units,
Mm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
thank
we
you,
are
sir.
talking through space. My voice is going to your ear, and then it is traveling through space. You are reading it because you are also
Yes.
submerged in space. All these things are happening. Now it is up to us. What aspect will I focus?
Yes, yes,
Right, Bhaiya?
yes, thank you. Mm.
Okay, Bhaiya. Thank you, Bhaiya. So let's take one more sharing. Then we will have 10-minute observation. So we have Chandrasekhar Bhaiya with us.
नमस्ते भाई नमस्ते
Namaste,
नमस्ते
Bhaiya.
सभी को भैया what I heard is as you know भैया self is omnipresent omnipotent omniscient
क्या
and
भैया?
even
Say
space
again, भैया. Self is?
self is omnipotent omnipresent and omniscient
Hmm.
we say like that whether again space you told all pervading space is all pervading and self is also all pervading भैया
So you ask yourself, Bhaiya, are you all pervading?
no with this statement भैया omnipotent omniscient omnipresent
So we
so
can
it
verify
was
this statement. We can
uh,
verify this
uh,
statement very easily. So you
uh.
ask yourself, है ना? In fact, you start with units. For example, mobile. Is the
Yes.
mobile all pervading? Yes or
No.
no?
No.
Now you ask for your body. Is your body all pervading?
No.
Now you ask for yourself as a consciousness unit. Are you all pervading?
Here I'm sticking with. Before that I'm all pervading.
So you ask yourself, what does all pervading means?
Everywhere existing is all pervading. Why?
Yes. So you ask yourself, are you existing everywhere?
Because I'm conscious. I'm existing everywhere. Conscious unit.
That's why you are consciousness unit. Now you ask yourself, are you all pervading? You are present everywhere in this universe, or you are present at one time at one place.
I self has a capability to be all
Self has
pervading
a
also.
capability, self has a potential to realize all pervading reality.
Okay.
This potential the self has.
Yes.
Self has potential to understand the existential realities.
Yes.
Self has potential to see submergence with all pervading reality, space.
Yes. Ma'am.
And this realization of submergence. This potential self has. But now you ask yourself, are you all pervading? All pervading means, are you present everywhere at any time?
No.
No. So answer is no, because I am unit, so I cannot be all pervading.
Yes.
Because each unit has its own size, own limitation. So as a consciousness unit, I have also uh, some size limit. So I can think of, I can realize that reality that is all pervading. But keep it open, bhaiya, yourself. है ना? In one line, my answer is I am not all pervading. Consciousness is not all pervading. In one line, I can see consciousness has potential to see all pervading realities.
Yeah.
This potential consciousness has, but you keep it open for yourself. Are you all pervading as a consciousness unit?
In some other literature also, these statements what I told, but then these are words are somewhat. I'm not able to realize it.
Yes, bhaiya. So we need to read that literature again, है ना, very cautiously. So if I am focusing on space,
Yes.
है ना, if I am only focusing on space, then I can say space is all pervading. And I am
Yes.
only focusing on space. In that sense, I can say. But if I am aware I am unit and space is all pervading, then I can say as a unit, I am submerged in space. So I am all pervading means I am observing the reality which is all pervading. Nothing else I am observing at this moment. Right?
Okay.
So it is a matter of focus where I am focusing.
Yes, Bhaiya. Thank you.
Okay, bhaiya. Okay, so it's 6, 7. है ना? So let's take 10-minute observation. है ना? So in this observation, I will try to see I am in space, in coexistence in space. Body is also in coexistence in space. And I transact information with the body through space as and when I required. I send instruction to the body through space. I read in specific sensation taking place in the body through space. So I am trying to see my being in space. My being is in coexistence in space. So let's have 10-minute observation and we will try to see it. Then after observation, we will again have some reflections. So let's see. Let's have 10-minute reflection.